Emily and Jack looked like the kind of couple people admired from afar. Their relationship seemed flawless, built on affection, trust, and admiration. Jack was the sort of husband friends envied. Dedicated, thoughtful, hardworking, and completely devoted to Emily. Together, they appeared inseparable, partners who fit perfectly in every way. Whether it was enjoying carefree brunches on the weekends or curling up on the couch for quiet movie nights, their love was obvious to anyone who saw them. Even after 5 years of marriage, Jack still gazed at Emily with the same brightness in his eyes as he had on their wedding day. He truly believed she was his soulmate, the one person who made him whole. But as time moved forward, Jack started noticing small but troubling changes. Emily, who once confided in him about every detail of her day, grew more reserved. Her laughter became rare, her tone sharper, and her eyes often avoided his. She seemed present in body but distant in spirit, as if her thoughts were always elsewhere. Jack tried to convince himself it was nothing more than stress from her demanding new career in marketing, which kept her busy with long hours and frequent trips. Still, unease began to gnaw at him, a whisper of doubt he couldn't quite silence. The first real warning came one Friday evening. Emily was heading out to spend time with her girlfriends, and as always, Jack encouraged her to enjoy herself. But as the night stretched on, her texts grew shorter and less frequent. When she finally came home, something about her unsettled him. Her clothes were slightly disheveled, her hair undone, and the faint scent of a man's cologne clung to her. His stomach twisted, but he forced himself to dismiss it. He didn't want to be the kind of husband who accused his wife without reason. He trusted her, or at least he wanted to. 2 weeks later, the illusion cracked further. While helping Emily with laundry, Jack noticed her phone light up with a message. He glanced at it instinctively, and what he saw stopped him cold. "Last night was unforgettable. When can we do it again?" His chest tightened as though something had crushed it from the inside. Emily quickly snatched the phone, brushing it off with a forced laugh, saying it was just a silly joke from a client. Jack tried to believe her, but the words burned into his mind like a brand. From that moment, doubt grew roots in his heart. He began to watch her more carefully. Her gestures, her expressions, even the smallest changes. The little quirks he once adored now felt like pieces of evidence, each one adding weight to his suspicion. And then came the night his fears were confirmed. It was a rainy Saturday when Emily kissed him goodbye, claiming she had to stay late at work. Jack returned the kiss, though the suspicion pressing on him felt unbearable. This time he couldn't ignore it. He grabbed his keys and followed her from a distance, headlights dimmed. His pulse raced as he watched her car pull into the parking lot of a small bar across town. He parked far enough away to remain unseen and waited. When Emily stepped out of her car, a tall man with dark hair greeted her. She smiled brightly, a joy Jack hadn't seen in her face for months, before wrapping her arms around him. Her laughter rang through the night air as she leaned into him. Jack felt his world collapse in an instant. He didn't follow them inside. Instead, he sat frozen in his car, consumed by betrayal, despair, and rage. Eventually, he drove back home, the emptiness of their house amplifying his heartbreak. That night, he numbed his pain with drink after drink until clarity surfaced through the haze. He realized something undeniable. This marriage was beyond repair. The woman he once cherished no longer existed. She had been replaced by someone unrecognizable. The betrayal was brutal, but rather than explode with anger, Jack made a plan. He would leave Emily in a way she would never forget. Over the next week, he carried out his preparations carefully and quietly. He transferred their shared funds into a private account only he could access. He packed his essentials, removing items one by one so the house looked untouched. He arranged with his boss to work remotely, setting up a new life far away from her. His plan was to vanish completely before Emily realized what had happened. On his final night, while Emily was undoubtedly with her lover, Jack returned to the house one last time. He placed a short note on the kitchen counter with 3 simple words. "I know everything." No explanations, no pleas, just the weight of truth and finality. He cleared out the last traces of himself from the home they once shared, leaving behind an empty shell that mirrored the void in his heart. Without looking back, he closed the door and walked away. Later, at a hotel room nearby, Jack sat by the window with a glass of whiskey. staring out at the city lights. He imagined the moment Emily would walk through the door, expecting normalcy, only to find silence and absence. He pictured her panic when she saw the note, her frantic search through rooms now stripped of every memory of him. And that's exactly what happened. At dawn, Emily returned, the scent of another man still on her clothes. She called for Jack, only to be met with silence. When she spotted the note, dread washed over her. She tore through the house, opening closets and drawers, her fear growing with each discovery. Half-empty closets, missing belongings, erased photographs. She called his phone again and again, her voice cracking with desperation, but every call went unanswered. In the weeks that followed, Emily's life crumbled. She searched for Jack everywhere, calling friends, contacting family, even going to his workplace, where she discovered he had transferred to a remote role. Each unanswered attempt chipped away at her, leaving her consumed with regret. The thrill of her affair lost its shine quickly, replaced by emptiness and guilt. Meanwhile, Jack began building a new life in another city. Among strangers, he found peace in starting over. The memories of Emily no longer haunted him. Instead, they became lessons he had survived. The bitterness faded, giving way to quiet strength. He had taken back control of his life, refusing to be defined by betrayal. Looking back, he felt no anger, only calm acceptance. He had given Emily the freedom she clearly wanted, but in doing so, he left her to face the loneliness and regret of her choices. Jack, on the other hand, moved forward free, stronger, and finally at peace.